LoreWarrior Online HM-1 Hitman Overview. With regiment after regiment falling before the clan juggernaut, the DCMS scrambled for tactics to counter the enemy's technological advantages. Noting the clan's minimal use of artillery, analysts identified a need for a fast scout able to carry target acquisition gear. Diplo Mech Yard submitted the HM-1 Hitman to fill that role. Famous for their Jenna and Mongoose designs, Diplo Mech Yards was a premier manufacturer of light mechs during the first Star League era. However, the destruction of its manufacturing plants during the Succession Wars reduced Diplo to little more than a holding company. Following the clan assault, Diplo secured financial backing from Hachiman Taro Electronics Limited and upgraded its subsidiary component manufacturing plant on Isla Chapelle into a manufacturing centre capable of producing the Hitman. Capabilities. Drawing on the key feature of all previous company designs, Diplo's Hitman is an extremely agile and fast light mech, capable of bursts of speed greater than 150 kph. Should the Hitman encounter a foe it cannot outpace, it is armed with a trio of medium lasers and a 5-tube LRM launcher slaved to an enhanced Artemis IV fire control system. With full ECM cover, the Hitman can sneak up on enemy units undetected and then use its Beagle active probe to gather data, or guide precision artillery or airstrikes using its tag system. Deployment. After extensive testing on the training grounds of New Samarkand's Sunjang Academy, the Hitman finally entered widespread deployment for the drive against Clan Smoke Jaguar by forces of the reborn Star League. With large numbers of Arrow 4 equipped vehicles and mechs, such as the Obakemono, finally reaching the front lines, the DCMS began to team them with the Hitman. The Ryuken regiments used their new equipment to devastating effect on the Jaguars, and their perfected tactics served the DCMS well when the Ghost Bears later launched their own assault on the Combine. Having secured a controlling interest in Tanadi Computers, Chandrasekhar Kirita dispatched the 17th Recon Regiment, a mercenary unit informally known as Camachos Caballeros, retained under a long-term contract to safeguard Tanadi assets on worlds liberated from Smoke Jaguar control. The mercenaries were positioned on Luzerne when the Ghost Bears came roaring across the border. The 1st Bear regulars crushed Force Commander Barkochba's battalion as the mercenaries attempted to contest the landing zone. In retaliation, the 17th deployed its scout elements, which included several Hitman mechs, and called in a withering artillery barrage that gutted the Ghost Bear cluster. Variants. Initially, the supply of Hitman mechs reaching frontline units far outstripped the available Arrow 4 platforms. Not wishing to waste the rest of the Hitman's excellent capabilities by limiting its deployment to the few units with the necessary artillery missile systems, the DCMS created a field modification. By replacing the tag with a C3 slave module and swapping the Leal 5 for a NARC beacon launcher, the HM-2 Hitman is the perfect point man for light and medium C3 equipped units. Notable mech warriors. Chui Jenna Armram. Granddaughter of a famous commander of the 3rd Proserpina Hussars, Jenna was honoured to be offered a position with the regiment, all too aware that Theodore Kirita's reforms made it possible for her to follow in her grandfather's footsteps. Jenna is fanatically loyal to the Coordinator. She views the continuing influence of the Black Dragons in the Combine with alarm and seeks to unmask their supporters. While her unsanctioned investigations have attracted disapproval from her superiors, they've also brought her to the attention of Ninyu Indraha. Lieutenant Junior Grade Dwayne Pog Montalban. Like many of the 17th's mech warriors, Dwayne is a native of Galisteo in the Free Worlds League. Another thing Dwayne has in common with his fellow caballeros is a penchant for unconventional behaviour. A fanatical collector of pre-jump westerns, Montalban assumes the mannerisms of the characters portrayed in his collection. Continually switching from persona to persona as the situational whim dictates, Dwayne bombards those around him with a kaleidoscope of cheesy two-dimensional roles. While it's rare to find the advanced Hitman outside the ranks of the DCMS, Dwayne's mech was among the salvage acquired by Camachos Caballeros on town after defeating the renegade 15th Deeren regulars. On Luzerne, he gleefully used the full capabilities of his Hitman to call down a carpet of death on the Mudheads, as the Caballeros disparagingly call all clansmen. Oh, God, get through this one was fucking annoying. Jesus. Oh, the number of times I fucked up was... I mean, you'd think I would have trouble with Chandraskar Kirita, but I've rolled that in my head so many times now that Chandraskar Kirita, Chandraskar Kirita, Chandraskar Kirita. That's just easy. But the bit that fucked me up was saying scout elements, at one point becoming the 17th Scouse elements at some point, which creates a bizarre and only hilarious visual for anyone in the UK who knows what Scousers look like, or act like, rocking up to the border of a landing zone with the Ghost Bears. Hey, what are you doing there, mate? Calm down, in their trackies with their great hairstyles. Not really the best thing for a lore warrior. Another one that got me was LRM, where at one point my brain decided to go LRM? No, you want to go with a trio of medium lasers and a 5-tube launcher slave to an enhanced Artemis fire. Don't know why it happened, couldn't say LRM, just ended up going, no. As if I'd just been temporarily possessed by a freak. Well, more of a freak than I already am. Anyway, the Hitman, love it. No idea why it looks like a Harlequin, it just fucking does, and it's amazing for it. I mean, even the artwork takes advantage of the Harlequin style design in here. I love it. Oh, one thing that, for whatever reason, was never in the write-up, but the reason it goes above 150 kph, and it's 1 over 150, by the way, it has mask. It doesn't mention mask at all in the write-up, but it does have mask. Oh, now, if any of you have ever seen a TRO book, you obviously know that right at the start, the bit I miss is the bit where it says, mass 30 tons, chassis Chariot Type 1, power plant GM210XL, cruising speed 75 kph, maximum speed 119 kph, 151 kph with mask, jump jets none, jump capacity none, armor Starshield A, armament 1, Thunderstroke, nice ladies L, LRM5 rack 3, Agra 3 L, medium lasers, manufacturer Diplom Mech Yards, primary factory Isla Chapelle, communication system Cypher ComUQ SCU4 with Guardian ECM suite, targeting and tracking systems Cat's Eyes 5, W forward 1, and Artemis 4 fire control system. I don't go through that bit at the beginning because generally I think it just completely breaks the whole thing of just getting to the overview. So usually I just do the code and then go to the overview. Most people, I don't think, are interested whether it's got a General Motors power plant in it or what the name of the weapon system, though hats off to Thunderstroke L for an LRM rack. That's fucking cool. And for a vast majority of people who play games like MechWarrior Online or MechWarrior 5, or even the older MechWarrior series, none of them ever really told you the armor that was equipped. This thing has Starshield A. There are many different armor manufacturers, though obviously for in-game terms it doesn't really make a huge amount of difference. It's just a little bit of fluff, and those companies have backgrounds. They're all there. They would make for some dry fucking reading, but if anyone ever wants in the future for me to try and do a lore warrior about, I don't know, like Hesperus Defense Industries, or the company that makes Starshield, or Isla Chapelle, or something, you know, Diplom Mech Works and all that, I'm happy to do it, but yeah, the fucking rabbit hole of BattleTech is very deep, and the warren that it's created is also very, 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 very big. But yeah, I like the Hitman. It's an awful looking mech, but the artwork in this kind of makes it look intimidating, which is impressive. Hats off again to that. Again, I still think it's the movement. Movement helps improve the design. But it's also a silly-looking mech. Let's face it. I mean, it does look like a court jester or something. No idea why it's called the Hitman. It should have been called the Harlequin. Let's face it. It should have been Harlequin, right? I think we just need to get onto Catalyst and just like officially say, look, can we retcon the Hitman and rename it the Harlequin? Is that fine? It still begins with a H. So, anyway, have a good one all. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.